Hey there, guys. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and we are replaying the 73 World Series using STRAT-O-MATIC. We are replaying Game 5. Now, the Mets took a 3-0 lead in the last game. The Athletics beat them 3-2, so they stay alive, and we're still at Chase Stadium for one more game. Then we go over to Oakland. It's going to be Jerry Koosman versus Vida Blue. The Coos is on the mound for the Mets. He actually pitches an amazing game. Amazing. He goes 6 1/3 innings, which is not much for that era, but he does pitch shutout ball. The Mets shut out the Oakland A's 2-0 in historically, but obviously this is not history. Let's find out what happens, um, and let's take a look at the lineups before we start. How's that? All right, the lineups for the Athletics are. Bert Campaneris leads off at shortstop. He is a 2 shortstop. Batting second is Joe Rudi, the left fielder. He is a 1 in left field. Batting third is Sal Bando, the third baseman, a 2. Reggie Jackson in center field, batting cleanup, a 3. Batting fifth is Gene Tennis at first base, a 4. Batting sixth is Jesus Alou. He is a 4 in right field. Batting seventh is Ray Fosse, the catcher, a 2 with a -3 arms. He has actually an excellent arm. The eighth place batter is going to be Dick Green, the second baseman, who 73 has 70 in 70, basically 73 had a good season, 74 has a poor season, and I think that may be his last season, 74, I believe. And then, of course, batting ninth will be the pitcher, switch hitting Vida Blue. And for the Mets, the hometown Mets here at Chase Stadium, beautiful downtown Flushing, Queens, just a hop, skip, and a jump across the Grand Central Parkway to LaGuardia Airport in about 20 minutes from the Midtown Tunnel into Midtown Manhattan. So it's definitely a great place to visit. And we're going to start off with Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, excellent, skilled defender. Batting second is Felix Millan. He chokes up about 8 to 10 inches and is a line drive hitter. Batting third is Rusty Staub, L'Orange, who loves to cook and a big restaurateur. Batting cleanup is Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones was in the running for the batting title in 1969. Batting fifth is the Hammer. John Milner goes on to have a big season in 1979, the season that the Pittsburgh Pirates went to the World Series when he was traded over there. Batting seventh is going to be Jerry Grody. He is the general on the field. Batting eighth will be Don Hahn, the center fielder, who is, I've seen a few games now that really appreciate his defensive ability. Batting eighth will be Buddy Harrelson, the shortstop, the sure-handed shortstop. Feisty little guy who basically duked it up with Pete Rose in that 73 playoff encounter with the Reds. And I believe the Mets swept them. And then, of course, batting the ninth is the Coos, the southpaw. He will be ready to roll here against the Oakland A's and trying to put them away in the elimination game for the A's here. The Mets are leading this World Series replay 3-1 at this point. And let's play ball. All right, let's play some ball. It's the Oakland A's at Shea Stadium versus the Mets. Jerry Koosman versus Vida Blue. And leading off is Bert Campaneris playing advanced, Strat-O-MATIC advanced. Ballpark effects are 1-6. 1-6 for lefties for singles, 1-11 for righties, so the righties have a bigger advantage. And then, of course, 1-6 both sides for the home runs. And this is going to be a 5-11, a little shallow fly to right field, and hustling in is Alou. Will he get there? No, not with a 4. He's a 4 fielder. And that drops in for a base hit. I'm sorry, that was Rusty Staub. Sorry about that. So Rusty Staub may get to it because he is a 3. And that may be a big difference here. I'm sorry, I got a lot of going on here. Okay, Rusty Staub comes up and makes the catch. Fly ball to right for Campaneris. 1 out. Jerry Kuzman. Here's the pitch to Joe Rudy. And Joe Rudy with a 2 and an 11. And that is going to be a diamond shot with a 14, which will be a fly ball to left field. Numbers 1-6. And next is Sal Bando. Sal Bando steps in the box. He's a right-handed hitter. It's a 1-5er, and that struck him out. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougs. We go to the bottom of the first. A0. The Mets coming to bat. All right, Vita Blue. Wayne Garrett. Pitch. Yeah, it's a 1-6, and Blue is, of course, is a lefty. Ball 4. So Garrett walks. He's on at first now. Felix Millan is next, and Millan is a good hit and run guy. He's a B hit and run guy, and there goes Garrett. I'd like to do this one, at least once a game. We're going to use this other hit and run shot. He's a B hit and run guy, and we rolled a 9er. So hit and run on a 9 is a ground ball. Batter safe. Runner, lead runner out. Oh boy. Lead runner out, shortstop, 6-4. So it's hit right at the shortstop, flips the second baseman. And even with the hit and run, the Mets can't get the runner over. Next is Rusty Staub, the pitch to Rusty. And that's a 2 and 8, and that's a 1-5 base hit. Otherwise, it's lined and caught by the second baseman, L4. 2 outs now. So Rusty gets a sweet spot on it and rips it, but right at second baseman Dick Green. I believe he's got one more season where he's injured, and or 2 more seasons. May have 2 more seasons. The next season, I know he's injured. Let's double check Dick Green real quickly here for a second. Just Dick Green in this 73 season. Yeah, he bats 262. Okay, so it's the next season where I believe he doesn't play very much, or it's his last season. He plays, but he doesn't do very well, and it's his last season. I think in 72 was the season he was injured. Here's Cleon Jones, a pitch from Vita Blue, and that's a 4 and an 8, and that'll be ball 4. So 2 walks from Vita here in this first inning. So he's struggling a little bit with his control. And out to talk to him is Ray Fosse. And next is John Milner, the left-hander, the hammer, at 23. Let the Mets in home runs in 73 with 23 home runs. So he's got decent power. And Blue checks in, shakes off Fosse, now sees what he likes, and the pitch, it's a 1 and a 9er, and that is struck him out. Curveball gets him to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a couple of walks, 1 left, and we move to the top of the second inning. Kuzman will be facing Jackson Tennis and Alu. Reginald Martinez Jackson, and that's a 6 and a 6, and that's going to be a line drive, base hit, center field. So Jackson rips one to center. He's on at first. Will he steal? He's a 4-6 and then a 7. Okay, let's see what happens here. Grody is a -2, and Kuzman is a -1, so -5 altogether. Let's see if we can get the jump. We get the jump, and we do get the jump, so it's going to be a -5. It's 12. There he goes, and he is out. Second base. Jackson trying to steal. So 2-4. And Jackson's thrown out. Great throw from Grody. Quick release. Here's Gene Tennis with 1 out. And that's a 2 and a 5, and that'll be a strikeout. So Kuzman gets tennis with a fastball. And here's Jesus Alou. Doesn't walk very much, doesn't strike out very much. It's a 4 and an 8, and that struck him out. Back-to-back Ks. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And bottom of the second, here we come. A nice crowd here at Shea Stadium. We've got it for this game. Let's see how many people we've got in this game. We've got 54,817, and it's Jerry Grody who leads off. Pitch from Vita Blue. So 1-7, and that is bounced to short. Easy play for Campaneris, 1 down. Don Hahn is next. That's a 4 and a 7, and that's ball 4. Third walk allowed by Vita Blue. So Hahn is on at first, and here's Buddy Housen, the switch hitter, batting from the right side against the southpaw. That's a 3 and a 5, and that's ball 4. Fourth walk allowed by Blue. So we're finding all the walks. The dice are helping us find all the walks. We're going to bunt with Kuzman. Kuzman, what kind of bunter is Kuzman? Kuzman is going to be a bunting C, and we're going to make him a bunting D because he's not very good. And that's an 8. Bunting D. And that is batter is safe, lead runner is thrown out. So it's going to be a little number in front of the plate. Fossey up with it, fires to third. It's going to be 2-5, fielder's choice. So still runners on first and second. And it's Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett, he walked in the first inning, and Vita Blue is really struggling with his control here. He's gone out to talk to him a couple of times. Obviously, it has not helped. So here's the pitch to lefty hitting Wayne Garrett with an opportunity here for the Mets. It's a 6 and a 6, and that's going to be a fly ball left field. On the run is Rudy, and Rudy runs it down in the corner. So no runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 left on base. And top of the third is going to be Fossey, Green, and Blue, the bottom of the order for Jerry Kuzman. The Kuz against Ray Fossey. First at bat for Fossey in this game. It's a 3 and a 7, and that'll be a bouncer to second base. Easy play for Mian. Sidearms it to first. 1 down. Dick Green is next with a 1 and an 8, and that's 1 single, but it's a 4, so that's a roller to third. Garrett on target to Milner. 2 down. And here's, should be Blue, not Darren Johnson. Here's a pinch hitter. Blue, what did we say Blue was? Blue was a 1. And the pitch to Vita Blue, switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty. So it's a 5 and a 7, and that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, 3 up, and 3 down for Jerry Kuzman here in the top of the third inning. Vita Blue facing Mian, Staub, and Jones. And that's a 2 and a 4. And that's a line drive caught by the shortstop, L6. It's going to be a diamond, single diamond, half diamond shot. But it's too high. 15 is too high. 1 to 11 would have been a hit. Here's Rusty Staub. Staub lined out. And that's a 4 and an 8, and that'll be ball 4. 5th walk allowed by Vita Blue. So Rusty trots down to first base. Here's Cleon Jones, pitch from Blue. It's a 4 and a 7, and that's going to be ball 4, number 6. So Vita Blue has lost all control. This is an elimination game for the Athletics. Johnny Milner with good power. It's a 1 and a 4, and that's going to be ball 4. So Vita Blue loads the bases on walks. Holy smokes. A 1-4 against the lefty is a base on balls. The bases are loaded on walks. That's 6 walks so far. So no, is that, yeah, 7 walks in 3 innings. And here's Jerry Grody. Infield's going to be in. See if he can walk one more, and then we pull him. Here's a pitch, and that's a 5 and a 9er. 5 and a 9er is, oh boy, that is trouble. He is a W against righties, but a W against righty and a W against lefties. So no home run there, but it's going to be at least a couple of runs. At least a run is going to come in. And it's going to be a drive in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Stopping at third is Milner, and that's a 2-run double by Jerry Grody. And the Mets have taken a 2-0 lead, and the crowd here at Shea Stadium is more than ecstatic. All right, so second and third infield's in. Vita Blue against Don Han. There's a local Chinese restaurant around the block with that name. All right, 1-6. And a 1-6 is going to be a bouncer to third. Runners will hold. Bando over to first. 2 down. And here's Buddy Harrelson. Now, we could walk Buddy. Buddy did bat, I believe, 260. Yeah, so we're going to walk Buddy to load the bases and pitch to Kuzman. We want Blue to get out of this inning. Kuzman is a 1 pitcher, 1 batter. Now let's do it. 1 pitcher hitting card. That's a 1 and a 5, and that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. So 2 runs come in on a big 2-run double by Jerry Grody. The damage was or the cause of the damage was basically loading the bases. So it's 2 on 1 hit, and we go to the top of the 4th. Mets lead at 2-0. Pressure is on the Athletics right here. Jerry Kuzman against Bert Campanera's top of the order. Pitch from Kuzman. It's a 6 and a 4, and that'll be a bouncer to short. Shortstop is a 1 with a 20, so this will probably be it's a good easy play for Harrelson, 1 away. Next up is Rudy. He flied out to left in the 1st inning. And that's a 6 and a 10, and that'll be a ground ball to third. Garrett's a 4 this season. And we said it was a 14. We're going to have to check his E30, I believe. He is an E30, so we're going to roll 3 dice and check his E30. And that's a 4. That'll be a ground ball to Garrett, and Garrett bobbles it and drops the ball. So everybody is safe. Rudy reaches base. He's on at first, 1 out, Sal Bando. That's a 6 and a 7, and that'll be a ground ball. Second base X. We're hitting a lot of the X's. Second baseman's a 2. And we roll the 15, which will be ground ball A, which is a 4-6-3 double play. The Mets turn it. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Bottom of the 4th coming up. The Mets lead at 2-0 in this elimination game of the '73 World Series. Vita Blue facing Wayne Garrett. Comes to the plate methodically. Now calls time and steps out. Takes a couple of extra practice swings, and he's ready. Vita Blue shakes off Fossey. He's ready to roll. The pitch, and that's a 5-9er. And a 5-9er is going to be a fly ball to right field. In the gap is Alou, and Alou runs it down. Felix Millan is next. He into a fielder's choice and lined out. Here's the pitch. And that's a 6 and an 11. And that's going to be a fly right field X with a 5. Right fielder is a 4. That may fall in there. I believe it will. And what did we say it was? A 5. And it does drop in for a single. Shallow fly ball that nobody can get to. Alou was late getting there. So Felix Millan with a Texas League single, and here is Rusty Stop. Light of blue will proceed with caution. Here's the pitch. It's a 2 and an 8, and that'll be a 1-5 single, and we roll the 6, so it's going to be lined and caught by second baseman Dick Green. So ripped, and Green goes up and comes down with it, lands on his tush, but he's got the ball, and back to first base is Felix Millan with 2 out now, and here's Cleon Jones, the pitch from Vita Blue. It's a 2 and an 8, and that's going to be line base hit center field. Millan will stop at second. And John Milner with first and second and 2 outs. So Blues got some pressure on him. He's already trailing 2-0 in an elimination game. And here's the pitch, and that's a 3 and a 6. And that'll be Milner against the lefty. A 6 is bounced to first base. Tennis is right there. Steps on the bag and now retire to the side. No runs. 2 hits. 2 left. We go to the top of the 5th. The A's are feeling the pressure. The deeper we get into this ball game, they're trailing the series 3-1, and they're trailing this game 2-0. Here's Reginald Martinez Jackson, the pitch from Kuzman. It's a 2 and a 9er, and that's going to be a strikeout. Big K for Kuzman. That's the 3rd, 4th, 5th strikeout for Kuzman in this game. So here's Gene Tennis with a 1 and a 2. And that's a potential home run, a deep fly ball. And that ball is deep to left. Looking up is Jones, and that ball's gone. Gene Tennis with a home run. And that makes the score 2-1 here in the top of the 5th. Next is Jesus Alou. Pitch from Kuzman. That's a 2 and a 7. A 2 and a 7 is bounced to short. Harrelson scoops it over to first. 2 down. Ray Fosse with a 6 and a 5, and that'll be a bouncer to short with a 17. Harrelson will feel that. 1 run, 1 hit, the home run. And it's 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The A's trailing by a run. Vita Blue will face Grody, Hahn, and Harrelson. What Dick Williams is looking for here is for Vita Blue to settle down. He's really struggled with his control throughout the game. He's walked 7 so far, only allowed 3 hits, but he's walked 7. When you walk that many, you're bound to pay for it at one point or another. Here is Jerry Grody. Steps in the box, right-handed hitter. He grounded out and doubled, and he's got the 2 RBIs for the Mets today with that bases-loaded double. Here's the pitch, and that is a 5 and an 8, and that's going to be line base hit. So Grody strokes one, and he's on at first. Next is Don Hahn. Don Hahn is a B bunter, and we will square with a 7. We will square with a 7. And batter is thrown out by the first baseman, so it's a good bunt. Grody moves to second. Buddy Harrelson is up next. You're going to pitch to Buddy. Blue over to first. Grody's not going anywhere. Just a calling card flip to first base just to keep Grody honest. Yeah, I'm sorry, Grody's at second base. So Blue looks over to second base, doesn't throw. Looked like he was going to throw, faked the throw, and didn't throw. And here's Buddy Harrelson. And that's a 2 and a 2, which will be a bouncer to third. Bando looks Grody back to second. 2 down. And now it's Jerry Kuzman. All right, here's Vita Blue to Jerry Kuzman. It's a 5 and an 11 against Kuzman's a lefty batter, I believe. And, oh no, he bats righty. So he's a righty batter against a righty. It's a 5 and an 11. which is an N home run, but Koosman, I don't think, no, he's a W, so it could be a single, and it's going to be a single. A base hit, a pop up to shallow center field, and that drops in for a base hit. Scoring is Grody, and the Mets go up 3-1. So Jerry Koosman helps out his own cause with a seeing eye little Texas League bloop shot that dropped in. And here is Wayne Garrett. That's a 1 and an 8, and that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. That'll be strikeout number 2, 3, third strikeout of the game for Blue. So 1 run on 2 hits. Mets lead it 3-1. The A's need to get something going on the offensive side. They got Green, Blue due up. Don't know if he's going to bat. All right, here's a pitch. And that's a 5 and a 10er. Okay, he's a righty, so it's a 5 and a 10. His bounce to short. Easy play for Harrelson. High throw, but nice stretch by John Milner. Now you have Blue. You know what? I'm going to pinch hit for Blue here because there's only 1 out. And it's going to be Darren Johnson coming up. He will pinch hit for Vita Blue. Pitch from Koosman. It's a 1 and a 6, and that'll be a strikeout. Number 6 for Koos. Curveball gets Johnson. And here's Bert Campaneris. Campy, right-handed hitter. Pitch from Koosman. It's a 2 and a 5, and that's a fly ball left field. On the run is Jones, and Jones comes up with it. No runs, no hits. 3 up, 3 down for Koosman. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-1 Mets. Have a new pitcher for the Athletics. I'm going to bring in Darryl Knowles. He's going to come in. He pitched in the 7 games of the World Series. We're going to bring him in here. Darryl Knowles will face Mian Staub and Cleon Jones. Here's the pitch. It's a 6 and a 7, and that's ball 4. So Mian walks. Next is Rusty Staub. Rusty bats from the left side. Here's the pitch from Knowles. It's a 1-7, and that's a fly ball left field. Right position perfectly is Rudy. Takes a step back and hauls it in. Here's Cleon Jones with a 4 and a 10, and that's a fly ball to right center field. Alu. Jackson and Alu come together, but it's Alu who makes the catch. And here's John Milner. 1 on, 2 out. It's a 2 and a 6. And it's popped up middle infield. Who's going to get it? Second baseman Green and Campaneris come together, and it's Green who calls off Campaneris to make the catch. Top of the 7th. Here we come. 3-1 Mets. I had this season card set, then I didn't have it anymore, and then all of a sudden I had it. Jerry Grody leads off. Top of the 7th, Joe Rudy Bando, and Jackson coming up. A lot. All right, here's the pitch. That's a 3 and a 7. And that'll be a bouncer. Harrelson, 1 down. Bando's next. And a 3 and a 5. And that's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders. Roll to the wall. Digging for second is Bando. Here's the throw, the slide, and he gets in there. Sal Bando with a 1-out double. Brings the tying run to the plate, and Reginald Martinez Jackson. Koosman better proceed with caution here against Reginald Martinez Jackson, who hits taters for breakfast. Here's the pitch. That's a 3 and a 7 against a lefty, a 3 and a 7, and that is hit hard. Taylor made. Harrelson goes to Mian, back to the hammer, 6-4-3. Huge. Oh, he was on second base. So that's not going to be a double play. No, sir. It's going to be a 3 and a 6. It's going to be a bounce to the short. Runner will hold. So it's a 6-3. Let's see if we can find our whiteout, which is weird. Ah, here it is. Not a double play because there's nobody at second base. And I think my whiteout is gone. Is this the? Wait a second. All right, I got my my whiteout back. My nursing school daughter pilfered it, and I don't know what she was doing with it because she had it on a table with a huge puzzle she's working on. So this is grounded to Harrelson. I believe it goes to Harrelson, and he looks bando back. So Reggie grounds out, and that was a big opportunity for Reggie, and he blew it. Here's Gene Tenet, who's got a lot of power. Already hit a home run, 3-1. Mets are up. Bando's at second base, and here's the pitch. And that's a 6 and a 4. And a 6 and a 4 is a ground ball. Shortstop, 19. Harrelson with a 1 is going to get to that. Harrelson is an excellent shortstop. 6-3 makes the play, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Here we go, bottom of the seventh inning stretch. Take me out to the ballpark. Darrell Knowles still pitching. And he will face Don Hahn here in Jerry Grody. Where is Grody? Did we lose Grody? Bouncer up the middle, and Campaneris gets there, throws on the run in time to get the slow-footed Jerry Grody. John Milner's up next. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Don Hahn up next. We're a little mixed up. And it's a 3 and an 8, which will be a fly ball center field. Under it is Jackson. And now it's Bud Harrelson. Harrelson is 0 for 1. He's walked twice. 1 was intentional. Pitch from Knowles. It's a 3 and a 4. And that'll be a bouncer to short. Campaneris charges. Bare hands, fires, and just gets Harrelson, the speedy Harrelson, hustling down the line. Thinks he's safe, but to no avail, does not convince the first base umpire to change his call. So that'll end the inning. Go to the top of the 8th. 3-1 Mets. The Mets 6 outs away from winning this World Series replay. Beautiful cards by STRAT-O-MATIC. Beautiful game. Nice, easy to play once you get the hang of it. And here is Jesus Alou leads off. It's a 4 and a 10. And that's a fly center field X with a 5. Hahn, I said, was a 2. And a center field 2 and a 5. And he runs it down. So a ball that was hit in the gap, and it was center fielder Don Hahn who read it well right off the bat and took off and turned on the jets and was able to track it down to the first out. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Kuzman has his point of weakness is the 8th. Here's the pitch. And that's a 5 and a 4. And that's a fly ball with a half diamond, which won't make it. He's a righty. It's 1-11. It's a 17. So that'll be a fly ball to left for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick fly balls. And the A's are down to the last 4 outs. Here's Dick Green. And then the pitcher spot. So we may see a pinch hitter if he can get on base. It's a 3 and a 7. And the 3 and a 7 is a roller to short. Easy play for Harrelson to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Coos. Who's cruising. Coos is cruising. No runs, no hits, 3 up, 3 down. They'll bring in a new pitcher. It will be Horacio Pena. Here's Kuzman. Going to try to get Kuzman to complete the game. Here's a pitch. And that's a 6 and a 4 to the lefty. That's a fly ball. Center field on the run is Jackson, and Jackson comes up with it. No, wait a second. Kuzman was up, and that was a it was okay. So it was off the pitcher. So it's a fly ball. Now it's Garrett up with a 1 and a 10, and that's ball 4. So Pena loses Garrett. He's on at first. Here's Felix Mian. We're going to try another hit and run. There goes the runner with a 3. Mian is a B hit and run guy. And that's going to be a base hit. Runner will advance. So he hits it through the hole. And Mian, with that control, that bat control that he has by stroking up on the bat 8 inches or so, is able to just ground it through the hole for a base hit. So we got first and third here now against Pena. So the infield for the A's is going to be playing on the grass. And here's Rusty Staub. And that's a 5 and a 4, and that'll be a catcher X with a 17. The catcher is a 2. Catcher 2, 17. See what happens. It's going to say pass ball, gets by him, a run scores. Going to second is Garrett. So it's 4-1 now here in the bottom of the 8th. And then it was what? It was a 2. It was a 17. And then it's popped up in foul ground for the second out. So Staub fouls out to Fossey in foul territory. And here is Cleon Jones with a 6 and a 3. And that'll be a half diamond single, which it is, base hit for Jones. Let's see if we can score a runner here. I think it's a 1 star. So runner will stop at third, first and third now for John Milner. They're going to call Paul Lindblad in, who's warming up. Lindblad, the lefty's coming in to face John Milner. All right, so it's Paul Lindblad versus John Milner here in the top of the 8th inning. Sorry, in the bottom of the 8th inning. John Milner's up. And Mets have 1 in here in this inning. They've taken a 4-1 lead in this elimination game for the Athletics. And here goes. Here's the pitch. And that's a 5. And a 3 is going to be a fly ball left field. X left fielder's a 1. And that's going to be tricky because we rolled really low at 2. Let's see if Rudy can come up with this. And he does. A 1 does make the catch. Actually, you can't get a hit off a 1. Look at that, all the way down. So a great catch by Joe Rudy, lays out and saves the day, saves at least 1 run, if not 2. Mets pick up a run here in the bottom of the 8th on 2 hits. And we go to last licks for the Athletics. And we get a pinch hitter for the Athletics to lead off. Darren Johnson already batted, so we're going to have to bring in somebody else. We got Kuzman trying to go for a complete game, so we're sticking with the Kuz. It's going to be Angel Mangwal. In here in the top of the 9th inning, last licks for the Athletics. They are down 3-1 in the series. So Jerry Kuzman versus Angel Mangual. And here is the pitch. Strat-O-MATIC. And that's a 3 and a 7. And that's going to be struck him out. Big K curveball gets Mangual out in front. Here's Bert Campaneris, who's over 3 today. Kuzman 2 outs away from the championship. 4 and a 10. And that is a fly ball center field X. The center field is a 2, and that is an 8. And on the run is Hahn. Will he catch up to it? Yes, Hahn comes up with it. Great catch. Great defense so far. We're seeing great defense in this game. First by Rudy and now by Don Hahn. And here's Joe Rudy. The Angels, the Athletics, down to their last out. Yes, sirree. Joe Rudy versus Jerry Kuzman. And the signs from Grody. Kuzman shakes him off. Now likes what he sees. Pumps one down the pike. And that's a 3 and a 4. And that's going to be a fly ball left field. Cleon Jones is under it. And that's the ball game, my friends. The Mets have beaten the highly favored Oakland Athletics by a score of 4-1. And the crowd here at Shea is ecstatic. So how many hits? Kuzman goes the distance. 1, 2, 3. 3-hitter for Jerry Kuzman. Allowed only 1 run. The A's committed no errors. The Mets committed 1. The Mets have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits for the Mets. Jerry Kuzman pitches a 3-hitter, allowing 1 run. Goes the distance for the victory, and he gets mobbed by his teammates. How many did he strike out? Struck out 7. Walked none at all. That was really the difference. Whereas Vita Blue, I think, walked 7. Vita Blue was quickly replaced in the 5th inning. Gave up 4 hits, 7 walks. Well, with that, actually, yeah, 7 walks with the intentional walk. Let's double check. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 walks with the intentional walk. Yikes. 8 walks. Struck out 1, 2, 3. Struck out 3. And allowed 2, 4, 5 hits. The big hit was that 3rd inning bases loaded double by Jerry Grody. So Jerry Grody came up huge. But again, it was Vita Blue that just could not find his control and walked the bases loaded in that 3rd inning. Walked 8 batters. Holy smokes. In 5 innings. Gave up 5 hits and 2 3 runs. 3 earned runs. No home runs. No hit by pitch, no wild pitch, and takes the loss. Vita Blue loses it. Kuzman gave up a home run by Gene Tennis. Hit by pitch, nope. Wild pitches, no, it was a pass ball, no wild pitches. Actually, I don't know, since I was playing, well, I wasn't paying attention to the 1s and the 2s on my D20. So I read, because if I get wild pitches here, how am I also getting wild pitches from the card? So you got to kind of pick one or the other. But Roll dice on splits 9 to 12. Ah, so I see. Okay. Anyway, this is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. This is game 5. This is the finale of my Strat-O-MATIC 1973 World Series, which I started about 2 or 3 years ago. And this is the one with the cartoon image of the Topps card, where you have the donkey and you have the A's. You have little cartoonish caricatures of the A's, and that's how you can find it. Versus, I think I have another one, a basic version of this. I believe I used the basic version on a green. It's called the green field version, where I use a big kind of a dice field, um, a dice box, which is real large, and it's a green field. So then I call that the green field version, and I call this one the cartoon version. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to like and subscribe my channel. Got a lot of great content. And I will see you guys soon. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. That's where the action is. And thanks for watching. I will see you guys soon. Take care. The Mets do it. They win it.